all over Africa, there seems to be a new trend that is taking the continent like a storm. The whole idea of countries passing harsh and draconian anti LGBT laws is something that is concerning. At first, Uganda passed one of the most harshest of all anti LGBT law in Africa. Now, Ghana is following suit. So, let's hear what a Ghanaian member of parliament said. And then we can react to what he is saying. But before we get to that, let me ask you this question, right? Is the rise of LGBTQ in Africa a challenge or something that we should be giving it this much concern that we are giving? Should it be something that warrant our total attention? I'm just asking because I really do not get the point. But maybe you guys have a different opinion from mine, and I would gladly hear them out. And please, if you are going to lecture me about family values, about traditional values, about norms and morality, please keep it civil. There is no need for name calling or to be very aggressive when putting out your point. So just do it in a more civilized manner, okay? At the end of the day, we can all learn from each other, or we can all agree to disagree. So let's watch the video.
We are aware of the attacks and the threats that have been made, but like we serve notice, we're a sovereign nation and we will stand for what is Ghanaian. And we also want to serve notice to those issuing the threats that carrying out those threats will be a high-risk enterprise here in Ghana, because we will come on the floor of Parliament, use your platforms as media houses because we know you support this bill, and publicize every business that is from that country in this country that operates in Ghana, and call on Ghanaians to boycott them. So if any government of any country thinks that they will sanction any of the sponsors of the bill or the Speaker of Parliament after this bill is passed, they should prepare to pack up and leave our country as well, because we would also instigate public outcry against their business interests in our country. If they work here, they must respect our laws, because when we visit their countries, we respect their laws. And until we see them carry out those threats against the likes of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Ukraine, or Russia, Bahrain, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Russia and China, then they should stay off Ghana. We are committed to ensure that under the guidance of Right Honorable Speaker, we would go into the consideration. We expect the consideration stage to be a very swift one, because even though there are a number of amendments, those amendments are largely a product of agreements between the sponsors and the committee. And so there would be hardly any cantankerous debates on the subject of those amendments.
It's so convenient for lawmakers who are being paid with taxpayers' money to go to the House of Parliament and debate about things that really do not make any sense. If you ask yourself, Ghana is facing a lot of problems. Shouldn't these lawmakers be figuring out how to solve these problems? Are there no issues that affect the lives and well-being of ordinary Ghanaians? Shouldn't that be the number one concern of the lawmakers and most Ghanaians? You know, Africa is the only place, like I have said this countless times on this show, that Africa is the only place where people ignore the most important things and 100% focus on things that really doesn't make any sense. Because I have always asked this question, and religious fundamentalists or the so-called Christians or people with traditional values will maybe argue with me. But I have always said this. Even if they pass the law, or whether they pass it or not, how will this law or bill or whatever you want to call it put food on your table? How is it going to serve you as an individual? How does it benefit you? Have you ever asked yourself this question? For the MPs, it benefits them a lot because they are trying to rally support from the base. They are trying to get the masses behind them. So they will say whatever they have to say to win support from their base. So it benefits them a lot. And moreover, they will collect their salaries and their bonuses and whatever that comes with their position. What about you, the ordinary Joe in the street? How does this serve you? How does this bill protect you? How does serious laws or rules benefit you? How does it put food on your table? How does it make sure you have good quality jobs? Everyone should ask themselves this question, because I think that the way we have been brought up in Africa, it is in such a way that we do not ask questions. We just listen to whatever the elite say, and then we just take it to heart. Whatever these so-called politicians come out and tell us, we just believe them without really considering what their motive might be. Because I do not think that this Mr. MP here saying this is just because he thinks that LGBTQ people are bad people, or being an LGBTQ member is a bad thing, or even the rise of LGBTQ in his country, Ghana, is a very, very dangerous thing. I don't think he believes all those things. He is just saying them because he is going with the flow. There is a lot of anti-LGBTQ sentiment in Africa, and he is just feeding into that energy. He is mainly giving the people something to talk about, something to be angry about, even though that is not really the problem, even though that will not help them. Ghana just got a bailout from the IMF, which lets you understand that Ghana is suffering. The Ghanaian economy is not doing well. You would think that MPs will be out there figuring a way to sort these problems out, but no. No. All they worry about is the rise of LGBT people in Africa. That's all they worry about. That's all. So, this is what I have to say. This is what I have to say. You might like it, you might hate it. It wouldn't make any difference. You might pass rules and regulations and laws, it wouldn't make any difference. Because if there's one thing that we all, those of us who understand how the world actually works, is that whenever you are trying to silence anything, whenever you thought that instead of giving a thought through about something, you decided to silence it or to ignore it, it doesn't go away. It just stays there and then show up in another form. That's just how it is. But you guys out there, let me know about your take on this whole thing in Ghana. Is the rise of LGBTQ in Africa or in Ghana a call for concern? And should people, especially the members of parliaments, be dedicating this level of concern and energy and resources on this issue? Aren't there more important issues that really affect the lives and well-being of ordinary Ghanaians? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say.